What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, and we have got to talk about everything packed into episode 4 of the first season of WandaVision. Last night, there were so many Easter eggs and brand new reveals during this episode. What was only 34 minutes, including the credits, felt like almost 3 hours. Most specifically, we started to learn some of the facts and rules with Wanda's taken over town, Westview. We're going to break down all the nuance in the dialogue, the Easter eggs, and of course, again, what's going on with Westview, exactly what the rules of the city are. Do people know they're in there, and who are all these people? We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, as well as announcing brand new winners for the Disney Plus subscriptions. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll announce the brand new Disney Plus members and get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So, of course, spoiler warning, if you haven't watched the episode already, you're a crazy person. I'm not even mad. I like it, but you might not want to be here if you don't want to have everything ruined. Some major stuff about the episode. Just so we're all on the same page, and in case you missed it, this episode ran chronologically concurrent to the other 3 episodes we've already seen. That means at the same time, except now we get it from S.W.O.R.D's point of view, mostly Monica Rambeau. Now, speaking of which, on both accounts, the episode actually opens with Monica Rambeau and is set, what we learn is about 2 weeks before WandaVision would have started as a series, presumably right when Hulk is finished snapping in Avengers Endgame, as we move seamlessly into the 3rd act. And while the scene is filled with panic, and this is sort of creepy as is, I think they did a great job of reverse engineering those graphics from when everybody was snapped in the first place. It was definitely just as creepy to see the panic in everybody coming as to see the panic in everybody leaving. Now, quickly, let's take stock of the scene, because there's so much going on that Marvel Studios is trying to show us and tell us at the same time, not only about Monica's backstory, but the backstory for the Infinity Saga. So first of all, you get to see what it's like for someone to come back and have no idea what's happened chronologically and temporally for them. They think they were where they were at just moments ago. So that's the first thing you get to see. You also get to see the physical craziness of everybody reappearing at the same time. She even runs into somebody as he manifests in front of her. Then, while all this is going on, and at the same time they fill us in on who Monica Rambeau is and where she fits into the MCU by explaining that her mother, Maria Rambeau, the friend of who we've already seen Brie Larson's Captain Marvel all the way back in Captain Marvel 1 when it was released, at some point got cancer and then eventually passed away after the snap and the blip. We also get to find out she wasn't snapped herself and helped set up S.W.O.R.D from the bottom, but that's something you learn later in the episode. Now, from there, we immediately get introduced to the S.W.O.R.D headquarters Sentient Weapon Observation Response Division, and to let you know, this is still taking place in close proximity to everybody returning, but now right before WandaVision is about to start. They have 2 clear shots of the big screen as she's walking through the forum of the headquarters, again just to set this scene up chronologically, but also to sort of give us some real-world contextualization as to what happened right when Hulk snapped during Avengers Endgame. From there, we get our first major character introduction of the episode, self-proclaimed quote-unquote acting director of S.W.O.R.D, Tyler Hayward. Now, that name is not supposed to immediately ring a bell, but may tie him familially to one of the characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that has connections to Hydra. Now, considering all of the Hydra commercials we've already seen during WandaVision, it wouldn't be surprising if some of the characters are still connected to that organization. And although at first it's not immediately clear, there are a couple of times during the episode he acts a little suspicious, and I'll be sure to point that out when we get there. Now, the next scene with her assignment and having to go to this missing persons case is really setting up 2 things. The first is just a slight power struggle that, while she may not outrank Tyler Hayward as far as the organization is concerned, her mother definitely did, which probably gives her a little more weight. So the fact that he's giving her orders is the awkwardness that he was trying to address in the hallway. The second thing about this is he sort of gets away with it by using her mother as a shield, but what's going on with him assigning her this case? Now, what are the odds that she would be assigned to a case that it would involve one of the Avengers? You have to remember, he's the director. He's in charge of things, so he could really put her on assignment wherever he wanted. Maybe it's not a coincidence that he puts her on assignment for this. Next, we end up in Westview, finally getting a look from an outside perspective of the bubble we've been in since the beginning of WandaVision, and this is where some of the rules and facts are set up about what it's like for observers on the outside. Now, it leaves some questions open, which Monica herself even enumerates a little bit later in the episode, and we'll get to that. But the first thing we learn is that Westview does indeed exist, but has been selectively removed from the memory of others, and if you're one of the members of that town, you've also been removed from the memories of others. Chu says that his member in the Witness Protection Program, and we'll get into who that may be a little bit later as well in the episode, he called their family members, they don't remember who it is. So from this, we know that there is a city of Westview and that someone has gone in there and made as many adjustments, or should I say as few as possible, to take over that domain. But the people in there were at least residents and people before it happened. So when he says it's a missing town, population almost 4,000, he's saying that that's 4,000 real people in there that have now all of a sudden had their memories erased from the memories of others, which is creepy considering that everybody just got blipped back, which is a great time to point out that chronologically in the MCU, Wanda was blipped herself. So now that she's back, and this all having taken place over a small amount of time, she is just now dealing with the psychological trauma of losing Vision the way she did, seeing him die right before her eyes, while we've had 5 years in the Infinity Saga for them to fast forward and undo Avengers Endgame. She was literally snapped right after he died, and now has only come back to the scene within 2 weeks. She fought during Avengers Endgame and now is dealing with this psychological trauma, hence what's going on during this episode. Now, if there was one thing that this episode had a lot of, it was electronic screens and electronics in general, as well as a ton of pictures and posts all over the walls, perfect for doing deep dives throughout the weeks. I'm sure that there are some more Easter eggs tucked within this episode, and we're going to do our best to find them all. In the meantime, the next part of this episode, or what I would say is the second act, introduces Darcy Lewis' character and really gets to some of what we need of the factoids and factuals to set up what's going on. One thing I will mention as far as an Easter egg though, the hexagon shape remains all over their readouts on these screens, definitely calling back to all of the episodes so far. There has got to be a reason for that. A lot of people, of course, thinking the 6 sides or 6 points to sort of replicate the number 6, which we've talked about numerology in these episodes, leading directly to the devil and or Mephisto. Now, it's in the conclusion to this act, in the end of this scene and part of the episode, where we all get caught up at once, not only everybody inside the makeshift S.W.O.R.D base, but the audience as well, when director Hayward openly badgers Darcy's character, wants to know everything she knows, which admittedly isn't much, but what she noticed was a broadcast frequency amongst a bunch of radiation. She got a TV, tuned in, and voila, she had WandaVision. Now, this is where director Hayward sort of acts suspicious. He badgers her, wants to get all the information he can, and then he runs off. And I think we've all watched enough episodes of The Sopranos to know if you're not there for the most important parts, then you're probably off talking to the government, or in this case, the government could mean Hydra or whoever he's working for. And would it be that crazy to assume that perhaps Hydra went crazy and eventually started worshiping the devil, and maybe they're reporting directly to Mephisto, and we're gonna get some crazy scene like from The Golden Child where Charles Dance's brother Noomsi's talking to the wait, you heard that shit here first. Seriously, some other people are gonna try to say this, and it would not be that crazy if that guy goes immediately outside this S.W.O.R.D base to a hotel room, knocks on some chalk door, boom, he's talking to the devil. You'll see it in episode 6. You heard it here first. Okay, this is a far-fetched theory, but really, that dude kind of looks sus, and it wouldn't be surprising if Hydra is somehow in cahoots, not only with what's going on with Wanda, but maybe the ultimate antagonist of this show. Now, like he said earlier, these are all real people in the city, so they get to work in the next part of the episode trying to identify everyone that they can see on screen, and we get our first Easter egg for Secret Invasion. They're listing everything on this whiteboard, everything that they can think of. Why do people have amnesia? What's going on inside? We see several questions all over, and like I said, throughout the week, we're going to go even deeper on every piece of text and detail we can find. In the meantime, you can see here on the whiteboard who's behind all this. Could it be, parentheses, scrolls. And I really like how this works because it's not only a callback to Captain Marvel 1, tying roots into the Infinity Saga alongside all the other Captain Marvel throwbacks, but it's also setting us up for the future of Marvel Phase 4 and Secret Invasion, and letting us, the audience, know that at least as far as S.W.O.R.D's concerned, the scrolls are already on their radar as a possible threat, and I think we're going to see a lot more of this throughout the entirety of Marvel Phase 4 in episodes like WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Miss Marvel, series that aren't exactly tied to Secret Invasion, but are just setting us up for the future of this phase. Now quickly, I want to mention the rest of what's on this whiteboard, including that Skrulls Easter egg. If you read it, it says related to Westview, mile radius, why hexagonal, why sitcoms, same time, is Vision alive, failed attempts, if it's not. This is basically like the YouTube channels for the last couple of weeks with all our theories on WandaVision. They're doing the exact same thing that we've been doing and letting us know that they're very aware of our questions, they being the writers on the show, and are revealing this piece by piece, letting us try to figure it all out for ourselves. Now, the next huge reveal about Westview comes in the next scene when they're trying to talk to Wanda via the radio, and also while they're trying to observe her watching the TV. And it has to do with the glitches. They realize that, well, at least not at first. Darcy thinks the first time when she was trying to talk to her over the radio that it didn't work because of this, but later she realizes that the footage will skip whenever it doesn't want them to see something. Darcy acknowledges that somebody is censoring the footage, but who could that be? In fact, it turns out to be Wanda. That's the huge reveal from the episode, as we get to see Monica Rambeau's character interacting with Wanda. And this is really important because I think it sets up some sort of outside rules. It appears to me that throughout the entirety of episode 3, and now this episode as well, Monica was acting as if she was undercover. She got sucked into this alternate reality, and I think there are a couple of sort of body language clues to let us know, like her slight pause before she introduces herself as Geraldine, that she was working this undercover the whole time. She took stock of her surroundings and then tried to blend in given her training, and that's why she chose to mention Ultron when she did, trying to jog Wanda's memory or seeing if she could sort of break through. Now, in that sense, when she judders the reality for Wanda, we also see that Wanda's reality is able to be unraveled just a bit after the huge reveal to both us, the audience, and Monica Rambeau, that Wanda realizes that this is entirely a facade and does not want it interfered with at all. Quick side note, that's also supposed to clue you in that at least in some part, or the only part, she's the one creating and orchestrating all of this. It's interfered with in a big way because when Vision walks into the room, we get to see that part of episode 3 replayed, except from Wanda's point of view, Vision looks as if he does when his body would have been collected by S.W.O.R.D and brought in after what happened during Avengers Infinity War. Now, the real question is, what exactly are we looking at here? And we're going to get into a full Vision theory video actually to be released later today. But the big takeaways from this episode and the huge reveal at the end is that Wanda is orchestrating all of this. She's created this reality, and although she's been apparently playing dumb the entirety of the first 3 episodes, she is well aware that this is all a facade. Maybe she's even wanted to believe in it. One of those, you tell a lie so long that you actually start to believe it yourself, because when Monica Rambeau does actually mention Ultron in the end of episode 3, and by the way, taking this episode and bringing us right up into real time now from both perspectives, she does look as though she doesn't really recognize that name at first, or it's her first time hearing it in a while, or she's just selected to forget it. Now, there is no doubt there are other powers at play, but a huge Easter egg here that we didn't mention about that wall, and this is the final thought I will leave you with, is that there is no license listed for Agnes. Now, we think Agnes is Agatha Harkness, and of course, if she was around back when the Salem witch trials happened, and she's that old, yeah, she probably wouldn't have a driver's license. Or the reason she doesn't have a driver's license is because she's the person in the witness protection program that Agent Chu was referring to when first she meets Monica Rambeau. Now, why she would be in the witness protection program, that probably will be revealed later on down the road, but they wouldn't have mentioned there's someone in the witness protection program without there actually being someone in the witness protection program. My thoughts is that's got to be Agnes because she doesn't have a license. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know all your theories, Easter eggs I missed. We are going to break down every single piece of dialogue on all of those sheets and forms that were posted throughout the week. We're going to break down all of the readout screens and absolutely pry for Easter eggs. But in the meantime, if you guys have any great theories, let me know down below, or just let me know in general. How are you guys liking this? I absolutely loved this last episode. Sure, it definitely felt a little more like the MCU that we're used to, but this show is definitely the quality of the movies, and that was the only thing I was worried about. It's pretty awesome that we're going to get this year-round from Disney Plus, at least for the foreseeable future. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff and announce some new winners. Now, we are still giving away a PlayStation 5 at 800,000 subscribers, and we will continue to give out Disney Plus subscriptions while the Disney Plus shows are live. In fact, let's announce some winners right now. The winners for last week and this week's Disney Plus subscription giveaways are Mark Goodwin and Richard Arnold. Congratulations and thanks so much for your support at the channel. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram at IamFires or email me on my business email, everythingalwaysyt@gmail.com. We'll get your accounts verified and get the Visa gift cards to cover the full subscription right out to you guys. And it's that easy. If you want to be entered to win any of the future prizes or the PlayStation, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber. Leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content is, of course, to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on. And if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Twitter and Instagram under I Am Fires, on Spotify with original music, including this song you hear right here, on All Fires, or even on Twitch, streaming twitch.tv/Novellin. There's links down in the description to all four. Thanks for checking out the channel. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.